Vikings Talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
The big focus for me is all that matters is the 17 games. And so I want practice to feel as much like the game as possible. If there was a way to take this thing off and have a purple jersey and get hit and know that you weren't going to be out, I would say hit me, because you just want to be ready for what the real game is. And so today, I think just some of the little things we did to structure it, we tried to simulate that more. And that's where I think the value lies.
Oh, you cut the clip off right before Daniil Hunter actually came in full speed, hit him into the brick wall there.
You want to be hit, Kirk?
Do
you think he really means that? I just want to be slammed into the turf to get a feel for the game.
Was that also kind of just a passive-aggressive knock on Garrett Bradbury there, too? If we could really simulate the game conditions, I would put my purple jersey on and have my center get forklifted into me about 6 different times.
Well, don't worry. First 2 games, that could happen plenty of the regular season.
Actually, that's a pretty good segue into, this is another dive into the comment section here. We're doing dives into the YouTube comments, into the feedback tab on the Score North app. Anytime you guys want to hit us up, we are very open and available on the show. We are the most interactive show in Minnesota media, Purple Daily and Mackey and Judd. The show is presented here on Purple Daily, where we just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die, by TCL. Redefine creativity with the TCL 30V 5G smartphone. Enjoy blazing fast 5G speed and an AI-powered 50-megapixel triple camera system.
Let's do it, baby. All right, let's go get it.
That's right. Ultra-realistic, true-to-life visuals powered by NextVision and booming sound from the dual speakers. Learn more at TCL.com. Let's dive into the bag here. Let's start with this one. Some leftover JC Tretter stuff from a couple days ago. So if you missed the story or missed our recap episode, this show has been, I guess me specifically, pro JC Tretter, you could say, over the past few months. And we've actually reported several times on this show that he wants to play for the Vikings, but they're not really showing interest. He came out through Sports Illustrated on the day that he announced his retirement 2 days ago and said, yeah, actually, I had a short list of teams. The Vikings, for one, did not return my phone call or my agent's phone call. So, he thinks it's because he's the president of the NFL Players Association, and he's essentially insinuating that he's being blackballed from playing. He's had some knee issues too, but he says his knee's been pretty good since the middle of last season, and no team even reached out and asked for an MRI or anything. Like, no team even brought him in to check his knee out. So I don't know how you can say, if the player is saying, I want to play, my knee is fine, and the team isn't even doing the medical check, then it's got to be something else. So Benjamin via YouTube said, the Tretter story is weird. The 4th-ranked center asking for a modest salary and didn't get a return phone call? Maybe the league icons need to be the Players Association reps instead, like Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes. Another layer to this is Kevin O'Connell was asked about this at Vikings practice, and he said, it's news to me. As far as I know, he didn't reach out to me or Kwesi. So what do you make of this? Super weird. You've got an a top 5 center in the world, basically, according to Pro Football Focus and other smart people that watch offensive line play. And he's saying, yeah, I really was interested in continuing to play, and the Vikings were on my list, and we just didn't get a call back from the Vikings. And the Vikings are like, oh, all right, my phone didn't ring. Yeah. Like, what? There's not a conversation here at any point in the summer?
Yeah.
What do you make of it?
Well, first of all, I'm not buying that. Like, Kevin O'Connell might not have gotten a call. That's very, very possible. Do I believe that do I believe that somebody within the Vikings facility did not get a call from an agent of a player who particularly has said, I grew up rooting for that team and I'd like to play for that team? And by the way, they have a player starting at that position who's not good. No, I'm not buying that for 1 second. I make of it that, look, it might be a conspiracy theory. It might not be. But JC Tretter, yes, he's had knee problems. He's had injury problems. I completely get that. But if he's to be taken at face value and basically no one is returning his calls or giving him a physical, then he is being blackballed. Like, sometimes the conspiracy is just true. Like, sometimes there are things that go deeper than oh, no, he just got, like, I got a tweet. Well, he's just hurt. Okay, that's fine. Then he gets a physical. Then you talk to him.
Yeah.
unless his camp is lying, which there's really no incentive for his camp to lie. Yes, he has a job as the president, as the player president of a players association that the league would love to bust, that the league in some ways already has. And do I think that this league is capable of basically saying, you know what, he's pretty much at the end. He's good still, but he's probably going to play like a year or two more. We would prefer not to employ him. Hey, teams, let's not employ him. Do I think that the National Football League would do something that dastardly? Absolutely. If JC Tretter were a Pro Bowl center and he was 24, he gets employed, right? But let's look at this. Precedent is there. And this guy deserved what he got, but the same thing in a different way, because what he did was horrendous, happened to Ray Rice. If Ray Rice had been 23 and had done what he did, he gets in a lot of trouble and he plays. But you know what? The league said he is a good but now aging running back who we don't find to be palatable. He's gone. Colin Kaepernick got blackballed. No question about it.
I have no problem with Ray Rice never stepping foot on an NFL field ever again.
I don't either.
JC Tretter, it's just, yeah. Oh, there's a couple more here.
Phil, my point is this. The precedent is there for how they blackball you. That's my point. Ray Rice got what he deserved, but when you look at Rice, when you look at Kaepernick, when you look at Tretter, this league has a template for when they decide you're not going to get a contract from anybody.
Mm-hmm. Trey Woodhouse via Twitter says, why would you bring JC Tretter in when he has a lot of knee problems? It would be a waste of a contract if he got injured again. Couple things on this. Again, they didn't, and no one did. Like, it's not like 5 teams brought him in for a physical or checked his knee out. Like, literally no team has checked his knee out in the calendar year 2022. So no one. So to Judd's point, like there's something fishy going on here, and I think where there's smoke, there's fire. But let's assume that the knee, you bring him in, you sign him, and then the knee winds up being a problem after 2 weeks, and it's shot. What have you really lost? So you booted Austin Schlottman from your depth chart. You know, Garrett Bradbury would probably still have been your backup center on the roster. You know, it's not like he has any leverage. So it's not like there is anything to lose here. You got the cap space. That's what makes it so weird. I'll throw one more out here too for you guys on the JC Tretter front.
Sure.
Casey James via YouTube. It's not going to be a make or break year if they don't sign JC Tretter. So give it a rest. The defensive backs need more attention than center because they're getting picked apart. I don't know, man. Like I think this is the weakest spot on the team. I think this is a weaker spot than defensive back.
I think if you look at the offense and the offense that has basically remained intact in terms of personnel over the last 2 seasons, to be honest, there's been no major changes outside of the scheme, which hopefully does vault it up. There's one position basically that has really hindered this team from getting there, and it's their offensive line and specifically their center. So if you're not going to change at quarterback, if you're not going to make other impactful wide receivers, if you're not going to change your running back scheme, everything in that stew has been the same. Why has it that it has not cracked the top 10 in points over the last 2 seasons? Probably protection. Probably that's the last other ingredient in the variable that you haven't been able to address. And they're rolling with the fact that with new scheme, that Garrett Bradbury is still going to be able to vault them in the top 10 offense. I just think there's nothing to defend with Bradbury. It's basically they don't want to hurt his feelings. That I think that's basically what it comes down to. They don't want to hurt his feelings. And I think, too, that Schlottman still is basically breathing down his neck. They benched Garrett Bradbury last year. They benched him. And I know because he got COVID, but they benched him at one point. So that's the one area that they can address that makes this offense top 10. It's fixing the interior of their line.
And I think that they can fix him, which I don't think that they can, because the league is filled with defensive tackles who are really damn good. The only possibility here, and to be very clear, I do not think that this is going to happen. The only possibility that is left is this. Veterans signed after week 1. Their contracts aren't guaranteed. So you could bring in Tretter after the Packers game. And then to the person's point on Twitter, if after 3 games he breaks down, he's just gone. Nothing lost. I don't think that's going to occur, but that's the only thing that there could be a possibility. But again, the Cleveland Browns, who employed Tretter, who, while he didn't practice throughout the course of the 2021 season, I believe he started every game or every game but one because of COVID, I think have lost 2 centers. They didn't call him either. So to me, this is not a Vikings thing. It's a league-wide thing.
Yep. So, all right. Well, we'll see what happens with I guess if you would have gone back again on the day that the Vikings announced Kwesi as the new GM and then Kevin O'Connell again as the new head coach, you said, what is the % chance Garrett Bradbury is the starting center week 1 of 2022? And I would have said 25%, maybe 30%, not 0, but I got to think they're going to come in here and, or at least have someone with some veteran experience backing him up. And they don't even really have that. Like they're kind of using, journeyman guards and getting them snaps at center. Like they never really found any sort of backup plan. And so they don't have a backup plan. Austin Schlottman is barely qualified as a backup plan. And it sounds like they've kind of let the Chris Reed experiment fizzle out at center.
Hurt.
So
He's been hurt for like 2 weeks.
Yep. So, all right, Ken Olson via the Score North app says, it's funny you bring up the story about the boy who cried wolf on the other show. Just the other day, I had someone explain to me a completely different or more modern way to look at it. He said, I'm not sure why the hell we tell it like the boy was lying. The wolf eating the boy proves he was telling the truth. Just because the townspeople couldn't see the wolf doesn't mean the wolf wasn't there all along. Therefore, I trust Judd's analysis on the holding situation. Wow. After decades of disappointment, wide left. After disappointment, shank. I can't understand how so many Vikings fans could be anything but alarmed. I am at Defcon 2 for the holding situation. I'll turn the keys if anyone so much sniffles, damn it. I will note, according to reports, Greg Joseph went 6 for 6 with the new holder yesterday. Is it Kyle Wright? What's the new
Wright.
Ryan Wright. Bob
Rookie
Wright.
from Tulane.
260
He right
pound
now
kicker
is
and
number
holder.
66 and looks like a linebacker.
He does. It's kind of funny. So all right, so at least Ken is but 6 for 6 yesterday. Sounds like they got pretty good chemistry to me. I don't know why the alarms are sounding.
I hope they do. Look, I am raising the possibility and the flag that I hope that was given as much consideration as hang time. My job is to poke holes. My job is to poke holes in life. Much to Dawn's dismay, my job is to ask, do you really know what you are doing? Did you fully consider it? Or in Dawn's case, close the sliding glass door to our house. God, do I get in trouble for that?
Guys, do you know what you're doing in the bedroom? If you're suffering from ED, Valley Park Medical Clinic can help you out. All right, Valley Park is the only clinic in Minnesota to use the True Pulse protocol, one of the most effective solutions for ED available. Their approach is medical, surgery-free, drug-free, and non-invasive. And they'll work with you in a discreet manner to make you feel comfortable at home and able to ask any question in a professional and confidential environment. Get this area of your life handled, guys. ValleyParkMedicalClinic.com. All right, our dive into the comments section continues here. Joe Mruz via the Score North app says, I absolutely love listening to you guys. It's my daily Minnesota sports therapy. I feel like you guys are in my head because I agree with 99% of what you guys say. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. You don't always have to agree. It's kind of fun to argue and fight sometimes. I'm 59 years old, and my wife and I were at the 1998 NFC Championship game and lived that and all the other heartbreaking losses this fan base has endured. I'm sick of fans accepting mediocrity in this state. I would love to be on a podcast sometime and talk with you guys about why fans of this state continue to defend mediocrity. It is a really, we talk about this sometimes on Mackie and Joe, especially like lately with the Twins, that there's kind of this like justification going on. Like, no, this has been a disastrous 2 seasons for the Twins, but what I feel like it's been 2 generations now since we saw one of the men's teams win a title back in the early 1990s. We're like, there are 37-year-olds like me that don't remember really the 1991 championship run. So we're, now it's like you got that generation. A lot of the 37-year-olds, 40-year-olds have kids and they haven't seen anything. And so I think we've lowered our bar so much, and we want to feel good so much that maybe it's just if you're looking to feel good about Minnesota sports, you got to find silver linings in things that fall far short of championships. And so maybe it's just a natural lowering of the expectation bar over a couple generations. Oh.
I also feel like there's a certain age group in this town that shames fans who poke holes, who ask questions, who criticize, who get mad, who are sports fans. And I don't know, it probably goes back to our passive aggressive nature in this town.
Yep.
But to me, that is the overwhelming feeling, and I might fall into this group as well. The overwhelming feeling, I think, from like people 55 to 45 or 40 is that there's like this shaming of you should support the team. How dare you not support the team? You aren't a true fan, which, as I said before, to me is the polar opposite of the truth. A true fan gets upset. A true fan, and there's nothing that drives me nuts more than this. Well, okay, you're going to get upset and demand accountability. What good is that going to do? What else do you have? Like if you just punt, you're like, you know what, I can't do a thing about it. Then why are you a sports fan?
Yeah. Well, I
just blindly follow the team. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird tug of war sometimes. I feel very comfortable with how we've sort of framed up our position on all of this, which is, to whatever extent we have any influence, which is probably zero. The conversations we have are through the prism of we hold the Vikings to a standard. We would like them to win a Super Bowl at some point, and there are certain steps to be taken. Like this, I don't think it's Super Bowl or bust this year necessarily. But if they win 6 or 7 games, I'm not just going to shrug and say, well, it's been pretty good. Pretty good. If you're the Lions and you win 6 or 7 games, that's pretty good. All right. You took a step in the right direction. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just there is kind of a weird phenomenon or vibe. Levi Wetter via Twitter says, hey, Phil, this may be a dumb question, but it's been confusing me for a while now. It says you are the CEO of Vikings Twitter. Is Vikings Twitter a page, or is it just the collection of tweets about the Vikings? Can you answer for me? Thanks. Big fan of the show. Levi, there is no such thing as a dumb question here, okay? Thank you for your question and for your commitment to Vikings Twitter. And I, as the CEO, would like to just let you know that Vikings Twitter is everything. It's all of us. It's all of the Vikings tweets. There is no official Vikings Twitter page necessarily. I guess you could consider Purple Daily as the official Vikings Twitter page. Okay, we are the official, I think, community of any Vikings fans that would like to come in here and push this team to a Super Bowl. And I, as your fearless leader, am proud to lead you into yet another Minnesota Vikings football season.
I'm almost emotional right now. Mm-hmm. And there's an entire cabinet as well.
Yes.
Dex is in it. I mean, we got a lot of people in that cabinet.
Yeah, well, right now, so the cabinet, and we are taking applications for other cabinet members. I don't think we finalized
Levi
Judd's position yet.
No, I'm still not finalized because I'm trying to get more money.
I'm the CEO. Judd is TBD, some sort of C-level position, but he's been negotiating and haggling for months now.
Classic. Brzezinski's tried to screw me too many times.
Declan is the clickbait officer of Vikings Twitter.
Doing a great job.
Jason Barnett is the chief meme officer. Eric Eager from Pro Football Focus is the QB Wins ambassador. Mario Rossi is the regional manager of Midwest Mock Draft Scouting, Iowa region.
Yep.
Tyler Fornes is the senior vice president of mid-90s YouTube wrestling clips and the president of draft operations, beer and football.
Yeah, we meet weekly.
Yeah, Dex does meet with him. I heard that.
And then Derek Duncan up in northern Minnesota is the chief bar food offer. I'm told that he will have some recommendations coming pretty soon.
You know what we're missing?
That's an up-and-coming position.
Women. We need at least one, if not two, of influence from women. That's what we need now.
We just need more diversity here in general. I think everyone I just read off is a white male. So
we need more diversity. Let's get it going.
A little more diversity in the Vikings Twitter cabinet here. Send in your applications to the feedback tab of the Score North app, or just tweet them at us, and we will consider them. let us know what position you would like to apply for, and then we can review your
Well, that's
resume.
the gal.
and-
I think she might have some Kirk takes. A Kirk position.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, she's more than welcome to join. That'd be great.
I'll interview her this weekend. I'll get back to you guys.
Interview her.
like
She'll
that
crush you.
She will.
So, all right, well, there you go. That's Purple Daily here. A dive into the comment section. We're counting down the days here until the regular season begins, and we just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. See you guys.